Right, so we're going to have a look at factors now. So what is a factor? Well, a factor is a number that will go exactly into another number. And we've come across those all the time when we were looking at the division topic. So let's have a look at this number here. I've got the number 10. I'm going to put a circle around it. So what are the factors of 10? Well, I'm looking for numbers that go exactly into 10. So let's have a look. We've got the number 1. Okay, we've got 10 ones there. We have the number 2. Okay, there are 5 2s there. Would number 3 go into 10 exactly? I've got 3, 6, 9. Then I've got 1 left over. So no. How about number 4? 4 and 8. I've got 2 left over. So no, that doesn't fit either. So the next one is 5, because then I go 5 and 10. What about 6? Well, 6 can't be a factor because it goes 6 and I've got 4 left over. 7, well, that'll give me 3 left over. 8, well, that'll give me 2 left over. 9 will give me 1. So my last factor of 10 is the number 10 itself. So you can see here that factors are numbers that go exactly into the original number. So 1, 2, 5 and 10. Let's take another number. Let's take 20. Draw a little circle around it, and here we go. What are the factors of 20? Well, number 1 is. And then we're going to have 2. 3 isn't, because if you think about it, it goes 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, and then you have 2 left over. But this time 4 is, because we have 4, 8, 12, 16, and then 20. The number 5 again. 6 doesn't, because that would go 6, 12, 18, and we'd have 2 left over. Neither would 7 or 8 or 9, but 10 definitely would. Once we go past 10, numbers like 11, 12, 13, 14, etc. would all have lots of bits left over, lots of numbers left over. You couldn't fit it exactly in. So that gives us our last factor of 20 is 20 itself. Let's have a look at another number. So we're going to have, the number, let's have a look, 16. Draw my circle. And let's have a think. Well, we're going to have number 1 again. We will have 2. 3 wouldn't give us enough. That would not. That would leave us with leftovers. 4, let's try that. 4, 8, 12, 16. Yep, 4 fits in exactly. 5, no, we'd have 1 left over with that, so we can't have 5 this time. 6, no, yeah, 6, 12, and nope, that'd leave you leftovers. 7, still leave you leftovers. 7, 14. 8, but we've got 8 this time. 8, 16. 9, so that's 9, and you go to 18, so that definitely wouldn't fit. 10, and then 20, nope, that wouldn't fit. So after that, our only other number here is 16. Now after these examples, you begin to notice there is a pattern. And the pattern is that we always seem to have the number 1 as a factor. And here it is again. Number 1 as a factor. And here it is again. Number 1 as a factor. So that's a consistency. What other patterns are there? Well, actually, the number itself. So 20, the number itself, 20, is a factor. The number itself, 10, in this case, is a factor of 10. And in this case, the number 16 is a factor of 16 itself. And that's true of all factors. You'll always find the number 1 and the number itself as a factor. So if ever the teacher ever asks you, name me factors of 32, well, straight away you'd be able to say 1 and 32. If it's an even number, you'd be able to say 2 as well. If he was to say, give me factors of 327, then you would say, yep, number 1 and number 327. So those two are always 2 quick factors you can give straight away. So if you want to have a go at finding the factors, Step 1 has a number in brackets, and that will tell you how many factors to find. So as you can see here, there are 4 factors of 16. So if I've put that 4 in the brackets, that's what I'm looking for, and you will know at least 2 of those will be the number itself and the number 1. So that will give you a clue there on each and every one. Step 2 doesn't have that bracket, doesn't have that clue, so you're going to have to be more thorough with your checking, as it's easy to miss out factors. It's easy to miss one out. Step 3 starts looking at factor pairs. So if you think you are competent with factors, then the next part of the video will be for you. If you think to yourself, no, I'm quite new to factors, try step 1, then step 2 first, depending on how confident you're feeling, and stop where you feel you're not confident anymore. Okay? Press pause, because the next part is about factor pairs. So here we are at factor pairs. What is a factor pair? Well, first of all, you have to find all the factors of a number. Here we go, we've got them all here. So what is a factor pair? Well, a factor pair will be 2 factors that when you times them together will equal the original number. Okay, so here we have got 1 times by 20. That's going to give me an answer of 20. Okay, let's have a look at another one. Would 1 times by 2 be a factor pair? Well, no, it wouldn't. Even though they're both factors of 20, the answer does not equal 20. How about 1 and 4? Nope. 1 and 5? No, that would make 5. 1 and 10? No, that would make 10. So only those 2 as a combination would make the answer of 20. Let's have a look at another set. Let's try 2 and 4. Well, 2 times 4 equals 8, so that wouldn't make a factor pair. 2 times 5 makes 10. That wouldn't make a factor pair. But 2 times 10 makes 20. So here we have 2 times by 10, and that is another factor pair. Okay, so let's look up to the next number. Now we know those 2 combined with 4 doesn't produce anything. 4 times by 5. Well, 4 times by 5 is 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. So 4 times by 5 is another factor pair. 4 times 10 equals 40, and 4 times 20 certainly doesn't equal 20. So they don't work. Now we've got this one, 5. 5 times 2 is 10. We know that, we've done that. 5 times 4, well, that is the same as saying 4 times 5. Okay, so we've got that. You could put it down if you wanted, but it's pretty much the same if you've got that one already. 5 times by 10, nope, that's not a factor. And 5 times by 20, no, that's not a factor. Let's have a look here. Which ones with 20? Well, we've got, with 10. 10 times by 4 is 40. 10 times by 2, we already have. 10 times by 1, no. 10 times by 5, no. And then 20. 20 times by 1 we have, but 20 times by 2 is 40. Times it by 4, much bigger than 20, and so on, till you get to 200. 20 times by 10 is 200. So we can see here that we could have 3 factor pairs for 20. If you swap them around, it's not really going to change much, other than you're changing the placement of the numbers. Let's have a look here at 10. What pairs of numbers, when you times them together, will equal 10? Have a pause and see if you can work that out. Okay, what you should have spotted is 1 times by 10 is 10, 2 times by 5 is 10. 2 tens is too big, 1 times 5 is too small, so we have 2 factor pairs there. Let's move on to the next one. Same thing again here. Have a look at this number, press pause and work out the factor pairs. Right, so looking at the factor pairs here, we've got 1 times by 16, 2 times by 8. These would all be factor pairs. So if you want to have a go at that final section there, and then the challenge, having watched this part of the video, then off you go.